Going live. I'm live. Ooh, I'm live. I looked over there. I shouldn't have looked over there. I shouldn't have looked. I can't look over there. I'm gonna get slapped.
All right, you ready? We're gonna go live on TBCN or recorded. Ready? Hang on.
Hey everybody, how you doing? This is the B-roll. Big John C. and myself, Keith. I be Keith. You know how we get down. We're here, and thank you for taking the time to view our content. We're gonna have a really good show, and the reason why I know we're gonna have a really good show, because we always put together a really good show. Eventually, when people look at this down the line or start looking at it more than several at a time, it's going to actually be like mind blowing. I mean, we're looking to break. We're looking to kick Joe Rogan off the top, right? JRE, it'd be no more JRE. It'd be IBK. You feel me? So anyway, like I said, we got a great show.
Please do kick Joe Rogan off.
We're gonna crush it. We're gonna crush the competition. Yeah. We're gonna crush them. So I just want to say thank you again for taking the time to view it, and we got a wonderful show again. And some of the things that we're going to talk about today is going to be about Christian quotes with question marks. Actually, it's only one of them, but it sounds good when you say quotes. Let's see. Let's talk about a little bit of sports. What's that guy named? Steph Curry, and the other one, the King, Lebron, King James. Hey, that's good because we're going to talk about the Messiah. Of course, yesterday was Easter, so we're going to talk about the Messiah. Donald Trump, the Christian Nationalist Messiah, Donald J. Trump, right? And which is kind of weird. Should I do the quote first? Yeah, let's do the quote first. And the quote goes like this. Who do they attribute the quote, if you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. If you teach him how to fish, you feed him for a lifetime. Any takers on that? Christian quote, right? Christian quote. Not really. Not really. The actual quote that they're talking about, that's a Christian quote, is attributed to Jesus. And it goes, when Jesus is talking to Joseph, and he goes, if you give me your sons, I will teach them to be fishermen of men. Okay? So that means basically be ministers, right? But the other quote, give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. Teach a man how to fish, you feed him for a lifetime. Well, that's not even Christian. It's a paraphrase, and that's a paraphrase. That's not even the actual quote. No, serious. There was an individual by the name of Lausus. It depends on how you want to spell it. Lao, right? Tzu, Lautis. Okay, I was distracted. But anyway, Lausus, right? And it says, if you give a man a fishing rod, you'll feed him for a lifetime. Of course, you're probably gonna have to teach them how to fish, or they can learn how to fish on their own. They could look. They can look at the YouTube video. YouTube. Even though YouTube that's a joke. Yeah, that's a joke because YouTube is only new, and that quote goes back. Wow, that quote goes back beyond. When was Lausus? Okay, all right, you could stop that. I thought it was funny. I thought it was humorous, right? See, we always add a little levity. At least I do, and then this other person do weird sounds with weird sound effects. But anyway, that quote goes back to Lausus, right? It's Chinese. Right? It's crazy, right? You think that there's a Christian quote, right? There's another one. Um, what was it? Oh my gosh, it's a quote. It says, "Above all else, know thyself." That's a religious quote. I said that to somebody before, and they go, "No, it's not." I go, "What do you mean?" And she goes, "It's not." It's a Bible thumper type person. I guess that's a person who like really reads the Bible. Always knows everything in the Bible. I go, "Yeah, no, yeah, it's a religious quote." She goes, "No, it's not. It's not in the Bible." So I go, there's more than one religion in the world, right? So just because it's not a Christian religious quote that's in the Bible or the Holy Bible in the Old Testament or New Testament does not mean it's not religious quote, right? That goes back to the to I want to say Egypt, but the Kemetans, Egyptian, Ethiopian, back there in the days, right? So it was funny because I had to like really like get the person to understand that not everything that's religious is actually Christian. And it's not that I got a problem with Christianity. I got a problem with these fake Christians that run around here uh, claiming, they want to quote the Bible and all that, want to be all hardcore to the Bible, but yet they turn a blind eye to those who violate the Ten Commandments. Literally, the Ten Commandments are really the first set of rules, right? Laws that were issued, distributed in Christianity, right? I mean, it goes back to Judaism, Hebrewism, right? Those are the first laws that Christianity as well as Islam has adopted, right? The thing with the adultery and all that stuff. Yeah, yeah. They don't care. These are the MAGA morons. I was gonna zip that in there. Boom, that was my segue into that, right? They don't care. I don't care. Thou shalt put no other God before thy God, the Lord God, except for if it's Donald Trump. It's like what the HELL did you say? Oh, he's the Lord and Savior. He's the what do you call that guy? The resurrection. And I'm like, hold up. So, do you celebrate Christmas on December 25th, or do you celebrate on what, June 4th? Could you give me some clarification on that? Because if you're saying that he's the resurrection, right? Then when do you celebrate Easter? I mean, give me some clarification on here. When do you celebrate Easter? Do you celebrate Easter in whatever? Which is weird. It was in March. It's the end of March. And normally it's in April. But do you celebrate Easter and what's that? After the day after the Sunday after Good Friday? I mean, you're confusing me, and that's what I run into with an issue with these false Christians out here, these fake Christians out here call themselves Christian. They worship a man who's had numerous adulterous affairs, numerous, who lies, who cheats, who never really goes to church to worship, and don't know any quotes, and they make excuses for the guy, and it's like, oh no, he's a Christian person. No, he's not. No, he's not. You guys are you're just making excuses for this guy. He's a liar. He's a cheater. He's an adulterer. He's a murderer. This man brought about the deaths of over a million people. They said, what? Yeah, that's COVID, man. Remember? Because he lied. He lied to the people. He said, no, this is nothing more than like the common cold. But I knew it was a very nasty disease that was coming from China. We call it the China disease. No, it's called the Trump disease. It's the Trump virus, not the China virus. It's the Trump virus. Why? Because he said he wasn't going to let it come in this country. And Sean Hannity, and I remind y'all, when Ebola came here in, 2014, 2015, when Ebola was came here, Sean Hannity called it what? The Obama virus. So this virus is not, it's not the China virus. It's the Trump virus. And because he lied to people about the horrific nature of this virus, millions of people died. Over 1 million people died because he lied. Nobody was prepared. Also, he had terminated the office. Yeah, the office was put together under President Obama and Joe Biden to deal with this a major pandemic. Yeah. It was a first response. It was the office first. And you know where it was located? It was located in the White House. Do they sleep? What? They sleep in the West Wing? So I guess in the East Wing, where the vice president was, or where the vice president office is. It's crazy. Right? That's crazy. But yet, these people, they want to ignore that. You know, he's the harbinger of death. He's literally the harbinger of death. More people died on this, more Americans died on his watch than in every major war and most major wars combined. That's crazy, right? That's crazy, right? But no, I don't care. He's still our Lord and Savior, Donald Trump. He's the resurrection. So let me ask you something. For all those Christians, especially the Christian nationalists out here, do he need to be, do y'all guys need to, do you need to, die or be killed, assassinated like Jesus? And then y'all can say, oh, he's resurrected. Then y'all can acknowledge him as being, the second coming of Jesus, right? Think about it. And people say, why? How could you say that? He's the president. That's a threat. No, that's not a threat. He's not the president. You know who the president is? The president is the person in the picture that was in the back of that pickup tied up. That's the president, Joe Biden. He's the president. No, you can't threaten the president with death, right? You can't. You can't be threatening to shoot the president to do harm to him. That's a very serious issue. What kind of serious issue? The kind that get you fed time. Yeah, get you serious fed time. But the Lord, your Lord and Savior he's just the citizen. He's citizen Trump. No, if you don't believe me, the last time he went to court, his lawyers referred to him as President Trump. The judge said, no, Mr. Trump. What is that noise? Is that a sound effect?
No. It's your phone going off because you didn't turn off your alarm. Sorry.
Oh, man. Yeah, sorry. You blew up my spine. Sorry. All right. Let's go with that. Do I have airplane mode on here? Let me see if I got airplane mode.
Well, don't fix it now.
I can't fix it now. I guess I'll be getting a phone call soon. How far we get into the show?
About 15 minutes.
That's all? Wow.
I know, it seems like an eternity.
Let me spice this up. Give me some sound effects or something. Yeah. So... See, that's why the show is moving slow, because you keep throwing in those little side sound effects. But no, that's cool. Let's get it rocking. Let's keep it rocking. Keep it popping. Yeah, I want to thank, like I said, I want to thank the people who I haven't thanked already, the people who actually watch my show, right? YouTube, all right? Think about that. I want to thank y'all. And like I was saying, with this doing with the president, Donald Trump, People keep saying the same thing about this guy. He keeps saying he's the Lord and Savior. He's not the Lord and Savior. He's not. He don't walk on air. And I'm pretty sure if you shot him, right, if you actually subjected him to acts of violence, you know what? He would crumble. Why? Because he's not the Lord and Savior. Okay? At this time, there's nothing you could do with the resurrection. When Jesus was resurrected, what could happen? He couldn't do anything. Walking on air, walking on air. He wasn't walking. He was walking on air. They said walking on water. He was walking over seas, common seas, and stuff like that. How do you deal with that? Okay, that's the resurrection. Saying that this guy is the second coming of Jesus, or what do you call him? Donald, Jesus, Trump. What?
May I ask, did somebody actually say that he was the second coming? Or
Yeah, that's all they're saying. And the MAGA media. MAGA media or
they actually
YouTube,
use those words.
they're referring to him as the second coming of Jesus, of Christ,
That's
of
terrible.
the Lord. It's hypocritical. Not just terrible, it's blasphemy.
I was going to say that.
And it's like, oh, we don't care. So he's going to save us, and save what? You mean the dude who's fleecing you for all your money? No, I gave him my money. Why? Because you thought he was poor, right? Yeah, because he's acting poor, right? Yeah, but he just got a deal and it's saying that the company that he just went public with was SPAC, whatever they call it, SPAC. The company, like $6 billion. First, it was $3 billion. His kickback was supposed to be $3 billion. So now, why are you still paying his bills? Not to just jump off the subject, but why are you still paying his bills?
Well,
why?
he is selling Bibles.
And he's out here selling Bibles. Yeah, that's a big thing. He's Bible selling with somebody he didn't even know until a few days ago, till they brought it to his attention. And then he said, okay, let me sell this. Apparently, the guy was selling these Bibles out of his trunk, literally out of his trunk, for a few years, since 2020. He's been selling out of his trunk, right? Couldn't make the sales and stuff like that. Couldn't reach his thing, and he comes up and says, okay, he was selling it for $49.99, right? Trump is selling it for $59.99. Hey, wow, what's up with that $10 increase? Who's gonna get that money? He's a hustler. He's cheating you. He's lying to you. He's stealing from you. He's stealing from you. That's what he's doing. He's stealing your money. But you know what? The morons and the idiots, I don't care. I think he's the boss. He's Donald Jesus Trump. They literally believe, I'm pretty sure that they believe that the J in his middle name stands for Jesus or Jesus or whatever. So it's like, oh no, whatever he says is true. I don't believe you. It's fake media. Yo, listen here. The liar is where the fake media coming from. He is the fake media because he put this stuff out here. He tells you all this stuff. He provides this. And now they got some blonde hair, blue-eyed little cutie, his type of girl, his type of woman, right? That's his type of female. That's his type. He's not really, he loves blondes. So he'll probably kick Melania out, divorce her, and marry her. You know what I'm saying? But that's him. So that would be his fourth wife. And how many times, how many chicks he's sleeping with since he got kicked out. Marlena Harbour, maybe, I don't know. But they had a little party going on the other day. Whatever, down there in the Caribbean, wherever there, Mar-a-Lago, wherever, it cost over $1 million. $1 million of your money. Your money to pay for her party. Oh my gosh. You're suckers. If you believe this guy, you're suckers. All right? I have a question to ask up front. Here's a little short question. Who did you do better under? Ronald Reagan and George H.W. Bush or Bill Clinton? Huh? Think about that. Who did you do better under? When Bill Clinton or George W. Bush? Bill Clinton. Who did you do better with? Who did the nation do better? How did the nation do better? Under George W. Bush or Barack Obama? Whoa, think about that. I want you to really think about this. How did the nation do, and who did the nation do better under? Uh, Donald Trump or Joe Biden? Who's the nation doing better under? Joe Biden. They like to tell you all this stuff. Fake media. Fake media was Donald Trump telling you how bad the economy was when he took it over, when it was the second best economy in the last 40 years. The first being this economy right now. He took over a great economy and crashed it. It took 8 years of Democrats working to get the country back to the point where it was going to be, where it became successful again. Record stock markets, inflation down, unemployment down, shopping and everything, GDP, everything growing. 8 years, and he crashed the economy. I don't want to hear no COVID, because again, like I said, it was a monster of his making. It was a demon of his summoning. By what? By lying to the American people. He lied. Then they talk about, freedom of speech, freedom of expression, no mask. Well, you know what? Shutting down the economy. Well, you know who did it first? Donald Trump. And then he opened it back up. Oh, I'm anti-masker, because his base didn't like what he was saying and doing, which was the real thing, which was the most intelligent, which was providing correct leadership. His morons, people didn't want to acknowledge it, and I was saying it back then, that these guys are morons. They're idiots. But now people are starting to say, oh, they're morons and idiots. I texted some John. I texted you something the other day. The guy was talking about what? You can't talk. Same thing we're saying here. You can't. This guy said just the other day what I've been saying for a couple of years now, and right here, you can't talk to these people and think you're gonna have an intelligent response, an intellectual conversation. You can't, because when they can't win, they start screaming and shouting, because they don't care. Logic does not matter. Logic does not matter. And that's what happened. This whole thing with this economy under Donald Trump collapsing was a monster of his making. He created that. Those demons, he created that. The only thing he had to do was tell the truth. Something he's incapable of doing. If it makes him look weak, sort of weak, he cannot do it. He lied about the economy. He lied about the nature, the hazardness, like as I said, how dangerous this coronavirus was. And it's not like it was new. It's not like it was new. Some idiot or in the wrong wing echo chamber, media echo chamber, was like, well, it was 19 times. It was 19 versions of it, and they still haven't figured out a cure for it. What? What? You moron. You idiot. And for all those morons and idiots that embrace that in that echo chamber of stupidity, it wasn't called the coronavirus, or called the coronavirus because there was 19 different versions. It was called the coronavirus because the year before, in 2019, was when they first found out about it. It was when it first started rising, when it first started expanding, was in 2019. And people knew, from the CIA, the NSA, FBI, all of them, CDC, they all knew how dangerous this virus was. Why? Because of the level, the threat level. People were dying by the thousands and thousands in China. So what do? You research it. You find out what the core of this is. That's the nature of the NSA and the CIA and the CDC and the World Health Organization. Those organizations, they have to follow up on that stuff. Why the NSA, the National Security Agency? Because it's a national security. Is this an attack? Is this a viral attack on America? The CIA, is this a viral? Same thing. Is this a viral attack? Are they using a biological weapon against America? It didn't matter how it got out. That's not an assumption. The assumption is this an attack on America? That's their job. The CDC. Oh, how are we going to deal with this? This is what they do. This is what they do. This is part of their. This is part of why they are who they are. Why they're the organizations. Why they are the Central Intelligence Agency. Is this an attack on America? We got to find out what the source is, and so they start asking questions. NSA, same thing. Their counterparts throughout the world. For every major organization, there's a counterpart in some other part of the world. In Russia, China, the UK, Australia, every other major country, there are counterparts. You look into it, that they look into these things, and we had already had an office that was set up, like I said, with the former president Barack Obama and vice president at the time Joe Biden. They had already set up an office. And when he set it up, his argument was this. His position was this. Barack Obama's position was this. It's not a matter of if it will ever happen. It's a question of when it's going to happen. Not if it's ever going to happen, but will there be a virus? Will there be something, a pandemic that's going to come and just going to wreak havoc on the world and our country? It's not a question of if it's going to happen. The question is when it's going to happen. And that's what that office was set up for. Where? In the White House. They set an office up that Joe Biden was taking the lead on. But what happened? I don't want to be disrespectful, but dumb Donald Trump, the dumbest president in USA history, in the world history of our nation, one of the dumbest, worst leaders in the world, in world history, got rid of it. Why? Because President Obama set it up. Just like he wants to get rid of affordable health care. Just like he bragged about getting rid of Roe v. Wade. That's what he did. That's what he did. It's his fault. All these deaths. And then he lied about it. And then in the wrong wing media, echo chamber, Fox News, and Newsmax, they were making jokes about it. I don't care if I catch corona. You know why? If I catch corona, I'm just gonna brush it off. That's what they were saying. That's what they were saying. I'm not worried about it. It's no worse than the common cold. No worse than the common flu. We'll be okay. It's no problem. Hold up. By this time, millions of Chinese, Asian, were dying, were infected. Millions and millions. Hundreds of thousands were dying, had died already. And they were joking about Sean Hannity. Oh, it's no more than the common cold. These liberals, because they like using that term liberal. They like using that term because when when they mention liberal in the wrong media echo chamber, people lose their minds. Rush Limbaugh, a la Rush Limbaugh, right? The so-called conservatives, they lose their minds. And you know what? They were losing their lives. People were losing lives. When the first few cases came here, oh, it's no problem. That's what Donald Trump said. Donald Trump knew. He knew. We know this for a fact. He knew that this is one of the most deadliest viruses since the bubonic plague, the Red Death, to hit the world. He knew. Why are you saying that? You're saying he knew. Yeah, I'm saying he knew. You know how I know he knew? Because he admitted that he knew. Oh, yeah. What was it? What was that guy? Bob Woodrow? Woodhull? The author who did it with all the presidents.
Was that a sound effect?
I don't know what it was. It was a sound effect. Ding. He knew. Because he did the interview. And he said he knew. Oh, this is a vicious virus. A vicious virus. And it's airborne. And there's, once you catch it, it'll kill you. And they were talking about, the flu killed more people than this virus. Until the virus started killing people. And when you caught the flu, you got over it. You may be sick for a while, but you get over it. You catch corona, depending on how early you catch it, it could leave you like disabled. Your lungs all messed up and everything. It's crazy. And he knew. He knew this is a vicious virus. And he was playing it down. And then he started giving you stupid things like, well, maybe we should pump. You can take bleach. What? Yeah, you can take bleach injections and what was the other? Oh, and the UV rays and kill it and as it gets warmer and you go out into the summer, the sun will help kill it. What? That was the stupidity of Donald Trump. He was recommending people take bleach injections, drink bleach, take bleach into their body. That's crazy, right? He did it. He didn't want to listen to the doctors. And I remember seeing one of those conferences, not conference, when, what do you call that? When press conference, yeah. The press conference, when he said that, and the doctor's like, no. Who is that?
Actually, I just sent you a text, actually. I want you to read it if you could.
Let me read it if I could. You said I can't read now?
I mean, I don't want to. I don't want to.
You want to take it there?
Except maybe don't read the cuss words.
But
it was something that I screen grabbed back in the day of COVID, okay. And it was just by something that somebody wrote.
Okay. Right now, I'm looking at, as soon as I opened up my phone, IG popped up, and President Biden is on here, and he's talking about those bragging about.
No, that's not what I sent you.
No, this is from the IG, because my IG is open. So it goes, those bragging about overturning Roe v. Wade have no clue about the power of women. I think he was also addressing that to the Supreme Court justices that were sitting out there. So you sent me a text. Wow, I got a lot of texts. No, I got a lot of texts. Oh, I got somebody else who looked at the who looked at my last show. Yeah, that's what the first one was. It was like responding to it. I was like, all right, cool. All right. What the heck is this?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cause a distraction.
Now you cause a distraction. Can I read this out? This is Donna Reed. Can I read this out?
You want to just read my phone?
No, because I got it.
Oh, okay.
Can I read it?
Yeah, just like I said, maybe don't say the cuss words.
Oh, yeah. Ooh. I'm going to try something out, though. Anyway, I'm going to quote this person. I got to give credit, right?
I don't think you have to give credit, but
well, I'm going to quote this person. Yeah. And it's a quote to Donna Reed. That's what the person sent to Donna Reed. And it says, imagine being so broken inside that you can't. When teed up perfectly, just say people should be cautious, but not afraid. We are Americans. We've been through worse. We'll get through this together. Imagine being utterly incapable of comforting another human. I think his children are gargoyles. I'm just reading this, right? I'm just my disclaimer. I may say something to piss you off, and don't hold on me or anybody affiliated with our show for comments that come from somebody else. So God, I gotta start that sentence over. I think his children are gargoyles, but gargoyles, but it is no wonder with that shaggy beast as a parent. Wow, God. What a miserable effing God in pathetic piece of sugar honey iced tea. You think I'm safe?
Yeah, no, you're good. You're good.
Okay,
no,
all right. It's the same thing. It's the same thing we were saying. I mean, the guy has no compassion. He lies to everyone. He lies to his constituents. He has no passion. He cannot admit when he's wrong. And I just said this, right? He can't admit when he's wrong. He can't say, oh, you know what? I made a mistake. He lied, then did an interview and told everybody, oh, I lied. It was horrible. I just didn't want people to get worried and stuff like that. No, you was up there talking about all that, or being all braggadocious about it. No, I'm not going to let anybody die. Well, 1 million people died. Guess what, buddy? You failed miserably. As a matter of fact, I would have to put you in the harbinger of death category. Is that too harsh? That's not too harsh, right? Well, it would be too harsh for somebody else, but not for this buffoon. I mean, this is an idiot. And you want to give the keys to the most powerful nation again to a fool that showed that he's a fool. There was this old saying somebody. It was a what do you call that thing when somebody gives you they tell you something. It's not an oxymoron. It's not a moral. It's a moral. A story. Here's the moral. I'll tell you about the story. Right. So the guy. Very, very, very rich man. He's a very, very rich man, right? And he has a son who's a fool, who's a buffoon, who's an idiot, right? And he leaves all the money, all his fortune to this fool of a son, right? And the son just squanders it all. He squanders it all. I mean, like lordship, kingship, dukeship. Like money, castle. Like you got a castle, and you got the thousands of acres of land, and people working for you, right? I mean, you might not be paying them, but they're working for you, right? So, yeah, and he squanders it all. He squanders everything, and he's walking around. He's got tattered clothes on, the same tattered clothes that he had, right? He's walking around. And he's begged somebody for some food. Somebody who knew his parent, who helped him, who his parent helped out. Because you got those people. When you got benevolent people, right? They help other people out, and that was his parent, right? That was his father. His father was a very benevolent man, very successful, wealthy person. So he's walking around and he's poor and he goes, could I have something to eat? I'm hungry, blah, 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 blah. And he goes, yeah, I knew your father. Your father was a wonderful person. It was great. Yes, come. So, I mean, I see you doing really, really bad. And he goes, yeah, I mean, I lost everything, blah, 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 blah. Right? Yeah. So, and the guy goes, okay, come. Let me feed you. Let me take care of you. Right? Let me clean you up. And he goes, yes, I'm good. Right? I've learned my lesson. Right? After squandering all this wealth, this massive amount of wealth. And so the person takes him in and he takes his clothes, right? He goes, look, go change, blah, 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 take a shower, bath, whatever, da, da, da. And he takes the clothes. And he goes to clean the clothes. As the son comes back, he's shaking the clothes, and he realized that the clothes inside the lining, there was jewels, like very, very expensive jewels. And he goes, look, you got all these jewels inside your clothes, because it was sewn inside the seams of the clothes, because that's what the father did. He knew the son was going to mess everything up, sort of like Don Fred Trump. Fred Trump was Donald Trump's father. He built that empire that was the Trump empire. He built that. Donald Trump just was squandering the money. So the man showed him, said, look, you're still very wealthy. These are some very expensive jewels. And so the moral of the story was that when you're dealing with a fool, you can't just give him the keys to the city and think that he's not going to do what in the nature of him doing. Like the scorpion and the tiger. The scorpion goes to the tiger. Excuse me, tiger, could you take me to the other side of the river? And the tiger goes, no, because if I go, you're gonna sting me and I'm gonna die, And the scorpion goes, no, because I'll die too. And halfway to the other side of the river, the scorpion stings the tiger on the nose. The tiger goes, what are you doing? We're both going to die now. And the scorpion goes, yeah, but that's in my nature. That's in Donald Trump's nature, to be a liar, to be a thief, to be a con man. Because as long as people will fall for these lies and these cons, then you are a sucker. You are a moron if you think that he's going to change. To think you're going to give this man the keys to the nation again, you are a bunch of idiots, whoever goes along with it. And I had a conversation. We had, and I think Big John C was like, aren't you being a little harsh? I'm like, no. No, you remember, right? I was like, no, because they're idiots and they're fools. They're morons. They don't care. That's crazy. That's absolutely stupid. That's stupid, right? Only a buffoon would actually, like a moron and an idiot, would actually continue to support an individual like this. You would leave your child around a pedophile and then wonder what happened. You'll leave your wife around an adulterer and wonder what happened. You will leave your money out, your jewels out, with a thief, a drug-addicted thief, and wonder what happened when they're gone, when your wealth is gone. There is no wondering afterwards. It's too late. It is too late. You have lost everything. And I say that so that people can get an understanding. And now I'm going to segue from there because how long we have?
I don't know. You were on a roll there.
Oh, okay. I'm tired of this guy, man. I'm disgusted.
We got about 15 minutes.
15 minutes. Ah, yeah. No, I got because we haven't. I want to say delinquent, not delinquent. What's that word when you hold back when you're reserved and you don't talk about something uh, you want to talk about, but you just don't. You just hold back and kind of reserved about it. Well, anyway, I'll get that word next time. Uh, I think I'm gonna add a vocabulary. I think I'm up my vocabulary game here. Um, we're gonna segue into a comment about Steph Curry. Steph Curry, Golden State Warrior, greatest player. Golden State's Warrior, greatest player. All right? Not the NBA's greatest player, Golden State's greatest player. I will give any and everybody that. If you want to say Steph Curry is number one at Golden State, I'm cool with that. And there's been some.
That was a sound effect.
It was kind of weird. Hey, let me turn let me turn my phone off while we at it. Thanks for reminding me. Steph Curry, I would give you as Golden State's greatest player, warrior, right? The league's greatest scorer, right? Well, 3 point.
That's like a correct answer.
What?
Sorry.
Oh no, are you agreeing with me? Disagreeing?
Yeah, I'm agreeing.
Oh, okay. The league's greatest long distance shooter. Okay. Now I know. I was like, what the HELL am I doing wrong here, man? All right, guys. Okay, so those are correct answers. And this is why I say because somebody made a comment. I forgot what it was. I think it may have been in my IG account and a post in my IG account. They're saying Steph Curry, if he wins one more ring, if he gets one more ring, he's going to be in the top 5 all-time greatest. And I'm like, thank you. Not quite. And here's why. If he gets the ring, it's just going to say that it's going to add to his legacy, right? And we've seen Steph when he came looking like a little baby, literally like a little freaking baby, to this grown. He grew up in front of us. Because when LeBron came, he looked like a grown man. Steph Curry looked like a little kid, right? So he basically grew up in front of our eyes. That's why he don't shave, because he still look like a little kid, right? So yeah. They say it'll make him top 5. And I'm saying, no, it won't make him top 5. And no, it will not make him greater than Magic Johnson as a point guard, because Steph Curry basically is a shooting guard, right? All the shots he take, okay, let's get into this. Let's delve into this. Steph Curry, like I said, will be the greatest 3-point shooter. But let's be clear about this. In ABA and NBA history, because the 3-point shot came from the ABA, the American Basketball Association, right? The flashier, the style of play, that came from ABA. You had, don't get me wrong, you had some
shot clock too?
I don't think the shot clock, no. The shot clock was from both sides.
I think they had a 30-second shot clock or something.
Yeah, they may have had the longest shot clock, but then they decreased it.
Sorry. That was supposed to be a shot clock.
Okay, it wasn't. It wasn't. I thought it was like a Jeopardy answer. I gave up already. Why you doing the Jeopardy countdown? I gave up. And NBA history, right? That's Steph Curry. And I want to be clear about this. That's the deal. That getting that 5th ring is not going to make him on the top 5 in NBA. I'll give him top 10. I won't give him top 5. It's hard for me to give him into top 10 because of the great players that came before him. I mean, you got who you got? You got Let me think of some people.
Larry Bird.
You got, well, let's face it, Bill Russell. Bill Russell led the Boston Celtics as a player, also as a player coach, because Bill Russell was not just a player; he was a player coach. 8 consecutive championships, even though the league wasn't as big as it was now, because basically you just had like 8 teams until the ABA, until it merged and it got a little bigger. You have Kareem, 6 championships. As I think it was a rookie or his sophomore year, he won Rookie of the Year, but I think in his first or second year, he actually brought with Oscar Robertson, the great Oscar Robertson, a championship to the Milwaukee Bucks. Yeah, that was Kareem's first championship. The other 5 came with the LA Lakers, but the first one came with the Milwaukee Bucks. Okay, that was Kareem. Then you have 5 with the Magic led, the Magic and Kareem led LA Lakers, 5 championships right there. So that's Magic with 5 championships, Kareem with 6. I'm not even going to talk about Michael Jordan. I'm not going to throw Michael Jordan in there because he's in the top. We know he automatically in the top 5. But you have these other people who are.
So who do you think is the greatest? Who is the greatest?
I'm gonna answer that question.
Okay.
But I'm not gonna answer that. No.
Cliffhanger.
Okay. Here's the greatest basketball player. Period. Right? Because there's 2 different levels of when I say basketball players. As the greatest professional basketball player, my belief is Michael Jordan. Right?
I would have to agree. And I'm not a basketball expert.
Well, give me a bean, like correct answer, because we both agree. All right. But the overall greatest, I know I'm not discounting Bill Russell. I'm not discounting all those people who played on that team, and there was a lot of good players on that team, on the Boston Celtics. I'm not discounting Dr. J. I'm saying above all of them, right? Michael Jordan, professional, because of what he went through and had to go through to accomplish what he accomplished. And if you want to know what I'm talking about, look at Michael Jordan, right, versus the Detroit Pistons. And when you see that, you'll say, oh, whoa, okay, I got it. Okay. But the greatest overall basketball player is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And it's not just because of the 38,000, nearly 39,000 points that he put up as a professional. No. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who they were calling him Lou Alcindor in high school, brought 3 high school championships, 3 state championships. He's rated number 1. The number 1 high school player. Look it up, right? Number 2 is Jason Kidd. And number 3, well, is LeBron James. They said consensus, right, for LeBron James, but there's no consensus with Kareem and Jason. They saying these guys are the 2 best high school players ever, right? Then you go to college. I want to remind you of something before we really, so you can understand what I'm talking about when I talk about college. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was not allowed to play on varsity. Was not allowed to play on varsity when he entered college, when he entered UCLA. He went to college, directly to college, because he was not allowed at 18 years of age to go and play in the NBA. That's why he ended up going to college, UCLA. And when he went there, he was not allowed to play on the varsity team. So I just want to make clear. He won 3 NCAA championships. Then he came into the pros, and we know about the score, but he also won. I think in his first or second year, he brought a Milwaukee Bucks team with like 30 wins, 40 losses, or something. It was some crazy thing, right? brought them into a championship. Then he went to LA and he won 5 more championships, scoring championships, MVPs, all of that stuff. So overall, as far as the greatest basketball player ever, I got to give that to Kareem. But as far as the professional, I got to say Michael Jordan. That sounds crazy, right? Now, the next thing, because I probably don't have that much longer to go, but I'm going to be clear about this, about LeBron, King James. King James. Happy Easter. He made a comment, a quote about how he could have won scoring championships every year. I don't think so, buddy. I don't think so. Every year, only one time in 19 years were you the best scorer in the league, right? The scoring champion for the league. 19 times out of that 20-year span, someone else was the better scorer. Okay, so no, you couldn't. That's like you saying. That's like I'm saying. I went to I went to the finals 10 times. I could have won all 10 of them, but I lost 6 of them and only won 4. And I wouldn't have won that had I not have gone to Miami to play with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh, who had also came into the league the same, in the same draft class. Yeah, that was a crazy draft class. Yeah. So no for all the bronzexuals who want to talk about how big and strong he is, how muscular he is, how much he weighs and stuff like that. Look, why don't you go in there to the locker room and measure his other anatomies, parts, all right? All you bronzexuals, okay? No, he's not. Now, you couldn't have won those championships for all 20 years. By no stretch, by no means. You may have won maybe one more had you put a little bit more effort into it, had you played maybe a full season, had you not been flip-flopping all over the place. Remember Jordan rules? That was when Michael Jordan was being battered, when Detroit Pistons was breaking all the rules and they enforced the rules. Yeah. All right, those are Jordan rules. They didn't change the rules. The officials started to enforce the rules. But they just made a change. They call it the Lebron rule. No flopping. Yeah, no flopping. If they decide you're flopping, they're gonna call you on it, right? So I just want to say those 2 things with the basketball. And next time we're gonna talk about conservatism. I talked about conservatism a lot. I'm gonna talk about it again. And yeah, I had to get that out with the Steph Curry and LeBron thing. That's weird, ain't it? Yeah. Here's my segue. I want to thank everybody for listening again, because this is the show to be. And I've been taking people's advice and putting more effort into getting out there and media and so on and so forth. So y'all keep supporting and roll with the B-roll.